What we do down here, apart from God, is we create a system in which behavior governs relationships. That's what we do. When I was in middle school, I was actually in 7th grade. We had junior high, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Yeah, we had 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I was in 7th grade, and there was a girl that had a locker down from me. She was in 8th grade. She was a cheerleader. I was a really dorky 7th grader, like more than you can imagine. And she was a popular 8th grader. And somehow we did the whole kind of awkward, do you like me? Yes or no, that's what we used to do. And we didn't have like Snapchat or passive-aggressive texting functions. You had to like actually talk to them. And so I'm addressing her, and she's like gonna go out with me or go together, what we called it. I remember not knowing what this relationship was like, but I remember all of a sudden figuring out there's a whole lot of rules. Rules that entail a lot of sacrifice on my part, like walking her all the way to the other side of the school to drop her off at her class and then racing back to mine. There were all sorts of things about how many notes you had to send her in one day and all this other stuff that just sort of piled up and piled up and piled up. And why is this? Because we have no other way to relate to each other than creating a bunch of rules by which, some of you do this in your marriages. Some of you do this in every relationship you have. If you do this, then I'll do this. It's just the way things work. It's our economy. It's our systems. Because there's no other way in which to rule. The reason this young lady required me to walk her and made it clear that here's the rule, you've got to walk me to class or I'm not going to be with you anymore. The reason she did is because she was afraid that if she didn't make me, I wouldn't do it. Isn't that what happens? We sort of, think about your relationship. You go, well, if you would just do this, it would make me really happy. Okay, of course I'll do that. And the reason we have to do this and sort of manipulate and play all these games is because we're afraid if I just was myself, you wouldn't do this for me. There would be no other rule that would allow you just to love me for who I am. We struggle with this. This is what the fall broke. This is why some of you have been chasing stuff over and over again. Why? Because you've fallen short of the glory and you are chasing that gap.